What's going on, man? Welcome back to the basement. I'm Ron, and I gotta be honest, this is a new setup here. It's not permanent. I still need to fix the mount that's here. This is very intimate. All right, I'm very up close, probably too close. Like I said, I want to move back the camera. That's why we're a little bit late today. I've been moving things around. I'm trying to get a real not professional setup here, but something going that looks good, feels good, plays good. Here we are. Like I said, it's not done yet. You can see the underdog sign here is not done currently. I'm trying to get the lighting set up correctly. It's way too close as well. Where my hair is cutting off the top of the screen. Look, we're gonna lock this in. Nothing is permanent right now. We will be good to go. Give me another couple days. We got reinforcements on the way, but we are here for one reason and one reason only. It is to hop into an underdog draft, a best ball mania draft. Or actually, no. We're gonna do a puppy. My bad, because we got the puppy. We talked about this last week. I didn't know they were going to drop the puppy this soon because I was saying $4 drafts, really good entry point. I think it was like $50,000 to first place, but they go out here. What's the LeBron meme where it's like, just for rocking with us, here goes another Tumo. When he was talking about deluxe albums, they drop a puppy on us this week. Now, I think I want to say it's like 70% full at this point. As I'm trying to pull this up on my other screen here, I got like a monitor set up here. I got a camera or a laptop set up here. I don't know why it's not loading, but I am very excited. We have the puppy. I'm about to pull it up on my phone. I don't know why it's not, of course I should already have this pulled up here, but we have the puppy live, which I know I said it last week, right? I said this is the best time for a beginner to get in here. $4 to enter. $50,000 to first place. Well, this one's even better. $5 to enter. It's the puppy. Wow, it's actually 83% full. That is a lot. $5 to enter, $100,000 to first place, $60,000 to second, $31,000 to third, $20,000 to fourth. This is all on a $5 buy-in. Again, it's 83% full, but I'm gonna be hard pressed not to. I think I'm gonna enter a bunch of slows here in a second. I don't know why it's taking forever to load. This is why something else that we have on the way that's coming in like a week or two is I have a new PC on the way. My Mac is giving me issues right now. I don't know what the problem is in terms of why I'm not. I'm about to pull up like an incognito window right now. It's something it's a whole thing, fellas. But we do have a supercomputer on the way. It's on the way. It's very exciting. But how is everybody doing in here? We got 57 people in here, and I haven't even hopped into a draft yet. God damn. I don't know why this happens sometimes. All right, I'm going to just force quit out of Google Chrome here for a second. Is Google Chrome a bad browser? I feel like it's a good one. But what do we got in here? My bad, fellas. Like I said, I was late. I am sorry. What else? What else am I missing here? Ron, you're late. I know. What else is in here? We got Brendan Giascoli in here. We got 630 Central. We're talking about the new Utah NHL team. I heard a rumor that they got Mitch Marner today, but I don't believe it. Do any of my hockey heads in here? I don't know if I got duped on Twitter. I don't know if that was a real report. It seemed real that Mitch Marner's going to Utah. Look, in case you guys are curious, where I'm at right now, my underdog is loading. I don't know what's going on here. This is bad. This is unprofessional. I'm trying to think if I should try a different browser. All right, hold on. I'm gonna try from an incognito window. I don't know what's going on. There's a way to maybe I should clear my cookies on Underdog. I know this is Bush League stuff. I can't believe that I'm having issues right now. All right, hold on. I get everything set up. I'm having issues with my, like, I thought the last thing that would be an issue would be Google Chrome working. After all of this messing around here. All right. Will the incognito window work? Because if it doesn't, then we're going to have some issues here. Come on. All right, what else we got in here? Wow, okay. So we got it working on the incognito window. This isn't an efficient way to do things, but it's just going to be what it is. All right, let's hop into one of these, man. My bad for all of the shenanigans here. We're going to hop into one. I'm going to get caught up with the chat here in a second. But we have a glorious puppy available, as always. If you are not on Underdog, you should probably change that. You can use promo code RON. I have a link in the description, the comment section, and the live chat right now. It's pinned at the top. If you click it, it's a link to Underdog Fantasy. It uses promo code RON. It will match your first deposit up to $250. It'll be half of your first deposit. So if you deposit $100, they'll match $50. If you deposit $500, they'll match $250, and that's the max. And you also get a special pick'em waiting for you in the lobby. I believe today's is. You can go higher or lower. There's a billion things to look at. I'm in Jersey, so I can't do it. But there should be hockey stuff, higher or lowers. And there is baseball as well. So if you're into baseball, not this one, not that one, but you have a Shohei Ohtani new customer special, 0.5 plate appearances. He's going to show up at a plate. So it's pretty much a freebie on your pick'em slip. So with all that being said, if you guys want to hop in a puppy with us as well, this is a great time. Even if you don't get in this one with us, it's a great time. $5. It's pretty much like doing a mock draft, but there's upside here, right? So your time invested, $5, an hour of your time, you have the upside of like $100,000 payout instead of just going out here. Okay, we got a lot of spots open. So if you guys want to come in, you absolutely can. All right. All right. It is already full. Let's pop this out. All right. I'm glad that the incognito window worked. Oh, we get the influencer 101. What do you know, man? What do you know? It is funny. I can't like. I think there's some people out there that think that that's like a real thing. It's strictly a bit. I do not have enough pull with Underdog to get 101s whenever I want them. All right, so this is actually the screen that I care about being presented correctly. All right, we're getting this all set up, and then we'll get into some questions. We'll read the comments here. What do we got? We're talking about Gabe Davis is saying that I'm always on time. What else we got? We got Maddie in here. New angle, yeah. It looks weird. Look. It's intimate. I'm telling you though, I gotta get a attachment. This is as far back as I can zoom this thing out. We're gonna go McCaffrey, by the way. I think like you can talk me into McCaffrey, you can talk me into CeeDee Lamb at 1. But we're just gonna go McCaffrey because he was a monster last year. That's really all there is to it. Oh, damn, we got Notorious Fantasy in here. What's up? We got James in here. Again, this isn't permanent. This is like a transition period of me trying to get everything situated. I still have to kind of... There's some things that have to happen. I'm also debating getting one of those like fancy podcast arms that like brings the the mic here. I don't know. This is like a stand. There's a lot of things happening, okay? It's June. We'll be locked in the next couple of weeks. What do we got? We got Eric Lindbergh in here. What's up, my boy? Just got my red badge today. Hell yeah. Who you got tonight for Game 7? Sadly, Oilers, man. I had a huge bet on the Panthers to win it all going into the series. I felt good about it at 3-0. The plan was always to sort of evaluate cash out options, but I felt like up 3-0, you don't cash out of that bet. After they went down 2-0 in Game 6, I cashed it out and was like, I can't do this anymore. A lot cuter you're from this angle. Yo, chill. We got James. Thanks for putting me on to Ecamm Live. Hell yeah. That's what I got going here. But once I get this, I'm getting this gaming PC. So I'm probably going to have to switch to like OBS or something. What else we got? We got Isaiah Jasper in here. Yeah, leave a like. Thoughts on the leg up sidekick? I haven't used it yet. I haven't used it, and I haven't done enough research to know what it is. And I love Karain and those boys, so I don't want to speak out of pocket here. But I'm largely like anti tools to help you. But I've also, the overlay stuff. It's not like this massive edge that nobody can sort of not climb, if that makes sense. We got Bindles in here. Hockey talk after the draft. We'll see. We got Bindles in here. Hell yeah. You're a Google Chrome loyalist. I am as well. What else is in here? Nothing weird's going on in the draft just yet here. So, what else? You got sacked. What else we got in here? We got on a puppy. Enter on your phone. Not seeing anything about a Marner trade. Okay, then maybe I don't know what I saw. What else? Ron, do you think you can still build a monster team around the first round quarterback in a redraft league? Who's your favorite quarterback this year? I don't think you can. I wouldn't advise anybody to take a quarterback in the first round unless if it's a super flex league. It's actually funny enough, kind of how JJ Zachariason got his big. I guess you could call it his big break when he wrote like the late round QB book. And he was super. It's actually pretty crazy with JJ. He did that when he was super young, man. He must have been younger than 25 when he wrote that book, or maybe like around then, which is crazy. I can't even imagine me being like putting pencil to paper and be like, yeah, I'm gonna write a book here. But yeah, no, you shouldn't take a quarterback that early, unless if it's like really, really wacky scoring settings. I think there's a clear tier of Allen Hurts, and then there's another tier break to your Lamar, Mahomes, Anthony Richardson. And that's probably, like, if you want to have an elite quarterback, you could live in that, that top 5 in the first 5 rounds. And you can't build a super team because if you're passing up on these, like, to me, I've held very strong on this. There is McCaffrey, Lamb, Tyreek, Chase, Amon-Ra, Jefferson, Bijan, and Breece are my top 8 that I really, really like. So if you're passing up on one of those guys for a quarterback, I think that's wrong. And then you have A.J. Brown, Puka, Garrett Wilson, Jahmyr Gibbs, that next, like, mini tier. If you're passing up on them for a quarterback, that feels wrong. And then I guess you have from, like, London through everybody else, where if you want to pass up on them for a quarterback, you can, but I don't know. It's about knowing your league's environment, I guess, is how I would put it. We're going to go neighbors, and then we will go with, man, DJ Moore's slipping in ADP, huh? I don't take a lot of Mike Evans. McCaffrey, neighbors. McCaffrey plays Detroit. That does nothing for me. Giants play Indy. That does nothing for me. Let's do DJ Moore. I actually like DJ Moore. I don't know why he's slipping right now. I will say people are like, oh, I mean, I just took my highest ranked guy, but like when we're talking through like my, these are all wide receivers. It's my wide receiver, 16 versus 17 versus 18 versus 19. There's not a ton of conviction there in, late June at this point where I'm like, man, I feel strong about DJ Moore over Mike Evans, Metcalf, and Diggs, but it's where we're at. I think that DJ Moore's in a good spot. I mean, you could have talked me into any of them. I think that I would have had Metcalf and Moore over Devontae Smith and Evans. Evans to me scares me this early. Just because we just did that in 2022, and it didn't pay off great. And last year he paid off, but you got him in like the 6th round. So now you're getting older wide receiver. Baker could always step back. No Dave Canales. I don't know. It's a scary bet. I'd rather just take Godwin in round 6 if I'm going to bet on the Bucs passing game. I don't know if you guys share that same sentiment. But, I mean, you can definitely talk me into the idea that Evans has super high, spike week upside. Wow, so we're just having a huge run on wide receivers at this point. We have all straight yellow, orange piss. DJ Moore, Devontae Smith, Mike Evans, Metcalf, Diggs, Kupp, Michael Pittman to start out the 3rd round. What else? Starting to get into my 2nd full season watching you help me win my league last year. Hell yeah, man. I'm actually really excited. We did a Dynasty video last week. We did the Crazy Ambassador update. I don't know why I've had like the bottom half of my screen tucked there, but I'm actually really excited to get into some redraft research. It's almost overwhelming. I'm not sure if I want. I'm actually curious your guys' perspective on like what you guys want to see. Like, what's the most compelling thing right now? I kind of have like a log of the ideas I want to go through. I'm kind of tempted to do like my top, I don't know, either overall rankings of like my top 36 right now of like the overall rankings, or like my top 24 receivers, my top 24 running backs, just to kind of put a foundation of rankings down. But those are also not my favorite creative videos to make. I do want to kind of investigate. I don't know if investigate's the right word, but like research. This is the most expensive rookie wide receivers have ever been, right? Marvin Harrison Jr. here, Malik Neighbors here. I kind of want to look into if that's warranted, if we can take past year's wide receiver seasons, apply it to these ADPs, would they have paid off? Is the edge gone with rookie wide receivers? All of that. What else do we have? Thoughts on Christian Kirk? I think he's fine anywhere in the 5th round. RB1s don't generally repeat. To me, that's a fallacy. I don't really like the idea of like, well, McCaffrey was the RB1 overall last year. He's not going to do it again this year. I don't know. I guess you could use that logic and step up to the plate and just take a wide receiver. But it's not super sound logic to not rank McCaffrey as your RB1. Because he would still be the favorite to repeat as the RB1 against the field, you know? You think Bijan can be the 101? Yeah. That wouldn't be the most shocking thing in the world if we look back next year and he is the 101 in fantasy drafts. I'm starting to go back and forth on Bijan. I currently in my ranks right now have Brees over Bijan, but I'm going back and forth on it. Pause. Just because I don't know. Tyler Algier is a strong running back, but so is Braylon Allen, and I think Nathaniel Hackett might just be an idiot. Like he is dying for ways to not use Brees Hall. Right? They draft 2 running backs. Last year they used the hell out of Michael Carter for no reason. All right, so this is for sure going to be Mark Andrews with this first pick. You could talk me into Pacheco. You could talk me into McLaurin, Hollywood Brown. I'm not the biggest McLaurin fan. Yeah, right? Like my rankings have no wide receivers up here right now. So for sure, Andrews. I feel like we're going to get left behind the receiver if we don't take one. The issue is I'm not crazy about McLaurin. I'm not crazy about Hollywood. I don't think we even have... No, we don't really have any correlation with any of these guys either. Man, 501 Hollywood Brown blows, man. I'm just going to be honest. Like, just clicking the button, it blows. But I'm starting to come around on Hollywood Brown, man. You know, he's my wide receiver 3 in this build. Again, I don't want to get... I debated a quarterback or something here. But when you take Andrews, you take McCaffrey. We've already taken 2 detours at this point. It's a wide receiver hungry room, as you could see here. I decided to go the Hollywood Brown route. The reason why I took him, like, maybe you guys are like, oh, well, McLaurin's pretty good. McLaurin's tough, man. He hasn't paid off in fantasy in a big way since his rookie year. And he's had quarterback issues the entire time. And now we get a rookie quarterback who scrambles. I have a tough time seeing that be all that great for McLaurin this year, but it's fair to say that McLaurin was like a 3rd-round pick last year, so you're getting a discount on that. High ADOT, you get spike weeks, but I'm just not crazy about it. I like Hollywood Brown. I am curious with the foot injury he had. I believe it's like the bridge of his foot, which is a really brutal injury to come back from. Something that he had like a sore heel this year. He's had like issues with it in the past. He might not be the same guy. Seems to be the sentiment from some other people. I'm not sure where I stand just yet. My thing with Hollywood Brown is he's always commanded targets. He's always been a downfield guy. And the Chiefs haven't had that in a while. Like somebody that can win downfield. Like he's pretty much going to be like Marquez Valdes-Scantling. But if Marquez Valdes-Scantling was good and could command like a 25% target share and run the most routes of the Chiefs wide receivers, from week 1 through the end of the season. So he's going to be on the field. He's going to be down the field. I don't know. I don't know that he sets the world on fire, but, 70 catches for like over 1,000 yards and like 7 touchdowns feels about right. McDavid anytime goals, free bread. I'm not sure. I don't have anything on this game yet. Like I said, I cashed out of my Panthers series bet. I'm just I'm just excited to watch from a fan perspective, man. I've been telling you guys, I've been watching this hockey playoffs, and the whole thing's been electric, man. So anything else that sticks out? Pacheco, Jacobs, Keenan Allen, Kittle, Richardson. I'm way behind on the chat right now. I'm just gonna be straight up with everybody. You have to take CMC with the 101 simply because you'll get fewer 101s than you will most other picks. Yeah, the issue is I haven't had a lot of 102s though, so I don't want to I don't want to lose out on CD. You know, I pulled the trigger too soon. What's up? We got Dash Brew Crew. What's up? What's up? Disbanded Brotherhood. What's up, my boy? What else we got? Here till the hockey is playing. Me too, man. Start, bench, cut, Nico, Collins, Ayuk, Waddle, man. That's such a tough one. I think I would go Ayuk, Waddle, Nico, but very tough. You said the big three went off in the first round? I don't know if that was true. I think like when BBM opened, they were like early seconds, like 1-2 turn type guys. And then by the end of the year, they became 2-3 turn guys. Or by the end of the summer. Do you think might bring in any Superflex content sometime soon? It's tough. I've talked about this in the past. I really only play Superflex Dynasty. I don't really love it for redraft. I've just never been great at it. I don't have a great edge with it. It's a fairly niche format at this point. Expectations for year one with Neighbors. I know that his quarterback's not great with Daniel Jones, but I still do trust Dable to get him involved. He should be the main target. He's going to play out of the slot. He's going to get like easy scheme touches. I'm pretty bullish on him is what I would say. All right, so I think we're just going to hammer wide receiver here again. I just don't love the options. I haven't been taking a lot of Addison. We're actually going to take DeAndre Hopkins. He's going to be the adult in our wide receiver room. Just steady production. You know, we already have Neighbors. We're going to need... I don't know. It's tough. I want to call Hopkins a higher floor player, but he could be dust just at his age. That's just the risk that you take on. I'm not the biggest Addison fan. You have McConkey. I think I took round 7 McConkey last time we were on stream, and I'm not even a McConkey guy. But like 7th round McConkey, I'll see what that's like, man. I will. I'll dip my toe in the 7th round Lad McConkey. What else we got? Been very into the Panthers with the Dave Canales thesis. I don't mind that at all. I've been taking some more Panthers as well. I have a ton of Deontay Johnson. I've been mixing in Brooks Hubbard. I'll take a little 18th round Miles Sanders. I will. Underdog is truly anti-RB. That's going to be something else that's interesting, is I do want to look into, I don't know that we're going to have enough data just yet, but you guys know I love my boomer redraft leagues, right? Where like FFPC, NFFC. As those start to get rolling, I really do want to compare notes because those, obviously they're not home leagues, but they are probably the most identical to a home league where you have like boomers and stuff drafting. Just because I think it's tough, man. Like these, you know, like ESPN, ADPs and all that, they're all brutal. None of them are actually accurate. I think August, like mid to late August sleeper is probably the best gauge of what a home league draft would look like. Top 47 kicker rankings, no shot, brother. What else? You can't stop getting the 108 plus in these BBMs. I don't mind the 108, but yeah, 109 and later is awful, man. Brooks, start, Brooks, and cut. Who asked that question? What else we got in here? Hollywood has been dealing with injuries his whole career. It feels like, yeah, that's kind of the issue. He said Hollywood is too high if you assume Rice plays the majority of the season. I don't know that, man. Like I said, like the way that I'm looking through the Chiefs wide receivers and the Chiefs players, we can't look through the lens of last year where like it wasn't a great passing offense. They don't want to run that back. I think it's pretty clear they don't want to run that back and win games with their defense by the skin of their teeth. That's why they bring in Hollywood Brown. That's why they draft Xavier Worthy. They want to get back to doing what they did during this entire dynasty. So the idea that like Rashee Rice, we can have 3 fantasy relevant receivers in this offense between Hollywood Brown, Rashee Rice, and Travis Kelce. It's Patrick Mahomes and an Andy Reid offense. So I think the idea that like only 2 of them can eat is a little bit short-sighted sighted just based on what we saw last year. Because, again, they've made the investments. Again, it's Mahomes. It's Andy Reid. They don't want to win games by running the ball and playing defense. It's not their MO. It's what they were forced into doing last year because we saw Kadarius Toney with like 3 drops ended up in interceptions last year. And they were running Justin Watson out there. This is a huge, huge step up. We could see, like, saying a Mahomes MVP season could happen isn't a stretch or anything. And if that happens, we're going to get a bunch of fantasy producers, not just 1 or 2. Like last year. So I like betting on Hollywood Brown. It's not necessarily a bet against Rashee Rice. It's not necessarily a bet against anybody. It's just that I feel secure if Hollywood Brown is healthy, Marquise Brown is healthy. I feel secure in his role as leading the Chiefs in routes the entire year and being their downfield guy. Because Rashee Rice is a low A-dot guy. Travis Kelce is a low A-dot guy. Their only field stretcher for real is Marquise Brown right now. And I think he's going to be solidified in that role, and he showed before that he can command a lot of targets in that role. So if we're talking downfield targets, a lot of them in a Patrick Mahomes offense, to me that's really interesting. All right, let's think here. So we have Zach Moss at the top of the queue. We have Lockett in the mix. So this is going to be for sure Lockett. Man, we don't have any Dallas for Prescott here, huh? We don't have any Eagles for him either. It'd be like an unstacked Dak. He's like easily my highest ranked guy here. Could take a running back. Not crazy about any of them, though. Man. Unstacked Dak does not feel great. We're going to take Mostert. I don't take a lot of Mostert. I'm fine with that. You know, we took our RB2 in round 9, and it's Mostert. We'll get some easy production. We'll take some higher upside swings in a second here. I don't think Worthy, I think Worthy early on is going to be more of a manufactured touches guy. If you look at his college career, only like 1 of his years was he a true downfield field stretcher. And he's had issue with his hands downfield and all of that. You said Bob Fagalo's got to get in one of these drafts. That's what I've been saying, man. That's what I've been saying. That's my buddy from my hometown. Hey Ronnie, how are you? What's up, Brock? You said love Neighbors if that price is too high. I'm not sure. I'm fine with round 3 Malik Neighbors. What else we got? Just because with Neighbors, I think that they're going to funnel targets to him. I think Dable's going to get league average QB play out of, whatever combination of Daniel Jones and Drew Lock. And we're kind of drafting Malik Neighbors for what he can be down the stretch. He's going to get the manufactured touches in and around the line of scrimmage. It's just a bet on his talent, I would be shocked. Remember, last year the Giants had to go all the way down to Tommy DeVito. I don't think that they're going to be that brutal this year. What else? Palmer over Ladd, I can't get there either. You got to remember, like, with the rookie wide receivers, the bet is what they're going to be from weeks 10 on. And from weeks 10 on, Ladd McConkey is a much better bet to have, like, high upside, like, fantasy breaking games and a stretch here that Palmer can't really match. It's just kind of like this downfield. He'll get spike weeks. I've been drafting Palmer as well. But Ladd McConkey's going to get easy touches from the slot. He's going to get easy touches from flanker. And it's a bet on the unknown. So I just think that there's more upside there. But I don't think it's crazy to say that Palmer could outscore Ladd over an entire season. In the weeks that matter, I think Ladd McConkey should be the favorite to outscore him, though. Xavier Legette, thoughts? Third Legette. I'm a fan of Xavier Legette. Like I said, I probably should have mentioned him when we talked through Carolina, but he's someone I'm drafting a good bit of. He's fun. He, unknown, late breakout. I kind of like the idea. I know that in the past, the narrative has been, well, if a player breaks out at like age 18 in college, they'll break out early in the NFL, which I think is true. But also a fifth-year guy might already be so old and developed that he could hop onto an NFL field and be good out the gate. I am buying into Canales, where Canales just gets the most out of his guys. He got real, I don't know he got meaningful field time last year from Trey Palmer, who I'm not sure is going to really even get much playing time this year for the new Bucks. But I think that he'll have a role in mind for Legette for sure. You You said underdog being anti-RB makes me want to load up on them, but the format forced me to also push up wide receivers. It's interesting, man. Like, you could talk me into the idea that the meta this year, like the team that's going to win, it wouldn't shock me at all if the team that wins it all in one of these formats kind of runs a... Damn, somebody took... I was looking for Caleb Williams. So Purdy's on the board. I could definitely be talked into a Purdy here. Let's do this. Let's do Purdy. I'm fine with Purdy as QB1. I'm not crazy about Purdy, but 10-12 Purdy's like fine to me. We already have McCaffrey. We can get ourselves into some other situations there. And then we'll take Chase Brown as well. We'll start loading up on running backs a little bit. This is going to be like a pretty standard hero RB team. But what I was trying to say is that if the old meta of Hyperfragile, like Hyperfragile was a really hyped method going into BBM 2, I believe. So this is like 2021, I think, where Hyperfragile would be like a 2-4-10-2 build where you would take 3 running backs in the first like 6 rounds and then you tack on 1 more and that was it. And that was, that was BBM 2 because that's what won BBM 1 with Justin Herzig. He had Kamara, Chris Carson, Tony Pollard, and one other running back I can't remember. And he won it all with just those 4. You could certainly talk me into taking, McCaffrey, Achane, and you come back around. You take like an ETN or something, and then you just cap it off with like, your favorite late round dart throw, like a Blake Corum. And that could be enough, and that could be the winning team where you just sort of throw quantity at wide receiver. I think that it's an interesting game theory experiment because you can conform, and that could be the meta as well, right? Where you take 4 straight wide receivers and you really push it, and you get into a room where you kind of suffocate the room, and you all of a sudden are getting like this happens on Pete Overzet streams. And you all of a sudden can get like a Rashad White 15 picks past his ADP, and you can kind of assemble this super team against the field. So I think it's one of the most interesting seasons we've ever seen in best ball, but it is definitely overwhelming. Let's see. When FFPC gets going, that's peak best ball summer. No, I agree. Do you think Ricky Pearsall could be fantasy relevant? Yeah, I think so. As like the 3rd wide receiver in that offense, if Ayuk actually gets dealt here, or if Debo gets dealt, he could be even more interesting. But I think that he could be, I'm trying to think of like a reasonable expectation for him. But he can give you some weeks in best ball for sure. There's one saving grace to having a late first. It's 3-4 turn Josh Allen. I take him every time. Yeah, I like that as well. To me, anytime that Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts are in the 4th round, I have a hard time passing up on them. Just because last year, the 2-3 turns sucked, right? It was Calvin Ridley, it was Devontae Smith, it was Chris Olave. I'm trying to think of the running backs were there, but I can't. But almost routinely, Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen was there, and they got overlooked just because, they're onesies. It's not sexy to take a quarterback there, but sometimes, especially at that 2-3 turn, especially this year, and you could feel it last year as well with, again, like Olave, Ridley, Devontae Smith, like not super high ceiling type of guys. Instead of going for a home run at that 2-3 turn, why not just hit a single or hit more like a double? I'm not a baseball guy, but you guys get what I'm saying. Maybe, hit a double with Josh Allen and just have a bust-proof top 3 quarterback for the entire year. CMC or CD in a 2-flex league PPR? I don't know yet. Get back to me in August, and I might have CeeDee Lamb as my 101, but as of right now, I'm still CMC 101. If it's a 2-flex league, and it's my only league, and we're not talking portfolio, you could talk me into CeeDee Lamb there. No love for Worthy. I love Worthy, but it's going to be kind of crowded. I don't think that he's going to take over Hollywood. I don't know that he's going to take over Rashee Rice. He'll be like the 4th option. He'll get his scheme touches. I don't see a monster season for him out the gate. That's kind of my biggest holdup with Worthy. But with all these rookies, you can talk me into him finishing the season like Rashee Rice did last year, where he's getting the routes, he's getting on the field, and he's really good. That's certainly in his range of outcomes. But you're paying dude, and I like Xavier Worthy, someone that I was pumping up in Dynasty. But when we're talking, I mean, 5th round Xavier Worthy, that's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. Just because when we're drafting rookies in redraft, as much as it's a situation bet, it's also a talent bet. You know, Jalen Reagor walked into an empty wide receiver room, whereas Justin Jefferson fought it out with Adam Thielen as a rookie. And if these guys are going to pay off, it's going to be because of talent, not because of opportunity. You know, it'll be a mixture of both, but you get what I'm saying. What needs to happen here? So we already have Sam Fran. Damn, we missed out on Justin Herbert in that whole tier. That sucks. Let's get Rico Dowdle. I'm not crazy about Rico Dowdle there. But we just kind of needed to be a wide receiver or a running back pick. And then we will also take probably Jermaine Burton. And then we'll take Jermaine Burton. This is not my favorite team of all time. I'll just be honest here. Is there like a clear stacking opportunity I'm missing? No. I think this is going to be a 3-quarterback team. We're going to do something probably a little bit different here. We took Jermaine Burton. We don't have much Week 17 correlation going on here. Right? Because I think San Fran plays Detroit. There's not a ton of Detroit stacking opportunities late. Right? Like when we look at Detroit. Yeah, geez, man, I'm not drafting Khalif Raymond. Yeah, so that's just not going to happen here. And then kind of our other options for stacking is like Daniel Jones. Like if you could talk me into like, this is going to sound ugly, fellas, but like Daniel Jones and Justin Fields as like a 3-quarterback build with this team. Will Levis is in play with Hopkins, Geno. Okay, so we got options. We got options. We're not completely left for dead at quarterback here. Probably going to be a 3-quarterback build, but that's fine. I think that our running backs are strong enough that we can withstand that. Probably going to be 3-5-8-2 if I had to guess. That's the way we're leaning right now. Got to get some Mostert. I know HM was hurt all the time, but he was also sick. And then Mostert's also super old and could just be dust. But to be fair, he's a 9th round pick. So it's tough to be too critical of Raheem Mostert at this point. What else we got? With Higbee out to start the season, I think Davis Allen could emerge as Rams tight end 1. Yeah, I think he's good. I'm not crazy about him yet. Ron, can you name 3 hidden gems for us this year? What qualifies as a hidden gem? What qualifies? I feel like every hidden gem is kind of already known. But in terms of like later round guys that I really like, I like Antonio Gibson. I like Elijah Mitchell. I like Khalil Herbert. Demario Douglas. Dude, Demario Douglas is one of the most inefficient prices on the board right now. He goes in like the 170s. Demario Douglas is my number 1 pick for gems. I'll also put... I still like Greg Dulcich. I know that's crazy, but if we're going to talk like late round guys, I like Greg Dulcich still. And the running backs listed before, I think that's enough. Neighbors will get a lot of targets on a 4 and 13 team, but I think that's fine, I think that's fine. He's going to get a ton of targets there. He's explosive enough to kind of make things happen. And I think it's tough to bet against a Brian Daboll team, man. I actually don't know that they're going to be 4 and 13, dude. Brian Daboll, he figures it out. Last year they were only left for, and last year they overperformed. They had Tommy DeVito. They should have had a 1st overall pick. And Tommy DeVito actually played them out of that. Their defense is a lot better too, right? Like I'm not even really a defensive guy, and I hate bumping up as a Jets fan. You guys might be like, I don't really know why that's a thing, but Jets and Giants fans, I don't want to see the Giants succeed. I'll just put it that way. I'm sorry. The last thing I want to see is another Super Bowl for them. I'm sorry, dude. I had to live through the Eli Manning years, as I had Mark Sanchez eating hot dogs on the sideline. I don't wish the Giants well. Sue me. I don't. But they're good, man. They got Brian Burns in a trade, which is crazy. So now they have Brian Burns, they have Kayvon Thibodeau, Dexter Lawrence. Dude, if you know ball and you watch the defensive side of the ball, you know Dexter Lawrence is actually maybe the most disrespected defensive player in the NFL. So they have a good team, man. They have a good team. They're building out that offensive line. I think Jermaine Illuminor went to my high school. That's going to help them a lot as well. Just as like a swing tackle that can also kick inside and play guard. I'm not sure if they're going to kick in Evan Neal or what. What else we got here? What are your thoughts on 7th round Ramondre Stevenson? I don't mind him. Did he go 7th round in this one? Yeah, I don't mind Ramondre there. I've been sort of sprinkling him in. He's starting to creep into a range where I'm not crazy about taking him. Just because in this area, I'd probably take JSN over him. But then once the wide receivers get to Jamison Williams here and Curtis Samuel, I'm absolutely fine just like taking whatever running back you want. And Ramondre is probably above, those names like Warren and Najee for me as of right now. Let's see. So one of these has to be quarterback. We're going to cap out at 8 wide receivers. Man. This is too easy not to just take it. So we're going to take Aaron Rodgers and we're going to take Malachi Corley. Because we have Jake Rothbard in chat. Jake Rothbard, one of the most diehard Jets fans I know. Maybe the only Jermaine Johnson super fans on the planet. What do you got for me, Jake? You got Bart, Bob Fagala, whatever you want to call him, of course. What's the word with Josh Jacobs? He's going to play 17 games. In a world where he plays 17 games, where do you see him ranking at the end of the season in PPR format? The issue with Jacobs is I don't mind him. I do wonder. I really like Marshawn Lloyd, the kid they drafted out of USC. And we've seen in the past Matt LaFleur use a running back by committee approach, right? We had, when Aaron Jones, peak of his powers, Aaron Jones is like a top 5 running back for stretches there in Green Bay. And you still saw a lot of Jamal Williams. You saw a lot of A.J. Dillon. You bring in Marshawn Lloyd. I don't know that they're going to run Jacobs into the ground. Jacobs was bad last year. He could, I know he's younger, right? He's like 26, 27. So he could easily bounce back from an efficiency standpoint, but he could also not and just be kind of this compiler, plotter. I think he'll be a fringe RB1. But the issue with those type of guys is if he ends up as like the RB12 in points per game and you draft him, in home league, you're going to draft Josh Jacobs in the 3rd round. So that's tough for me. There's going to be a lot of touchdowns in this offense, so he could just score 12 touchdowns and be fine. Or 15, and that's in his range. He could be a top 5 running back. If not, though, it's a tough sell. He's not going to catch a ton of passes. He'd be like a back end RB1, and the issue there is that when if Ramondre goes down, or if Jonathan Brooks isn't that great, or Bijan goes down, you can kind of match that fringe RB1 production that a Jacobs might give you with a lot of handcuffs. So that's kind of the issue I have with Jacobs. But it's tough because on Underdog, right, he's in the 5th round on Underdog. If you want to take Josh Jacobs in the 5th round, you can absolutely go ahead, and I can't really argue against it. But in home leagues, it's going to be more expensive than that. In home leagues, I think he's going to be more of a 3rd round pick. And there, I'm not crazy about it. We got Tom in here, just like he'll be at the BP tourney. What else we got? What are your thoughts on Caleb Williams? I think he's so overrated this year. No, I think that he's good, man. He's the best quarterback prospect since Trevor Lawrence, and he's coming into a spot, maybe the most loaded spot we've ever seen for a rookie quarterback. When you get the Breece Gibbs or Bijan Gibbs, that's super rare, but when those do happen, it's great. I think for Hyperfragile to win, you need some late wide receivers to break out hard. Yeah, I agree. But that's kind of if you take 10 wide receivers and you can hit on a few of them late, you're looking good, man. What else we got? You said you're CD 101 right now because Elijah Mitchell's still too cheap. I don't hate that call. I'm starting to get there on Elijah Mitchell. I am, or on CD Lamb 101 because I've been taking a lot of Elijah Mitchell too. He's way too cheap. He's still on the board in this draft. Bo Nix stack. I already have the Bengals bring back. I could probably do that. I could do a little Bo Nix Dolchich. We'll see what's on the board here. Why Fields over Russ? In a best ball tournament, I only care about the playoff weeks, and I just think that Fields could be the guy you need in like week 14 or week 15. Whereas if Fields started the year, and then I think if either of them started, they could get pulled, if that makes sense. So let's see. What are the quarterbacks available here? I'm not going to take Bryce Young. Man. We're going to take Daniel Jones here because we already have Malik Neighbors. And then we're just going to take Noah Fant. He's just a tight end that I like. I don't think that we need to have him correlated or anything. We have San Fran, Jets, Giants. I don't think Conklin's not still on the board. You could talk me into Jelani Woods. No, he has round 4 or bye week week 14. Let's go Noah Fant. Yeah, we already have Seattle, Chicago, week 17 kind of already lined up. And then we'll take one last running back to cap it off, and then that's done. I'm not crazy about that quarterback room of Purdy, Aaron Rodgers, Daniel Jones, but kind of what happens when you take McCaffrey, you try to make up the ground at wide receiver. So we'll piece together 3 quarterbacks there. We got a super chat. Would you trade Ayuk, Hawkinson for Bowers and Pickens? And I'm assuming this is a dynasty league. I would. To me, Bowers and Ayuk are like similar tier in dynasty. And then I have Pickens way over Hawkinson. You're saying Robert Tonyan's going to have some juice. Huh. Who does Robert Tonyan even play for right now? The Bears? You said Rico Dowdle and Pat Freiermuth are your favorite late-round guys in redraft. I like that call. We need a draft where I go full Jets homer. I'm not. I'm not a huge. I don't really draft Jets in fantasy football. It's just where we're at right now. How much? What's going on here? How much would someone have to pay me to wear a Daniel Jones Giants jersey? I don't know. Probably a hefty amount, man. Probably a nice little chunk of change. But all right, I think so. We have the hockey game on tonight. I'm gonna get off and go eat breakfast. But I think starting next week, we're gonna start doing 2 drafts here, right? Do a draft. This was kind of just to figure out my new setup. Again, it's not fully done. Bear with me. I know that this was a different setup. I'm gonna get the underdog sign going somewhere. I'm gonna move this I don't. It's a straight on, whereas like before, I usually have it coming down at an angle, like this. I don't know how else to show that. And I gotta move it back because this is as far as my camera can zoom out. And it feels real up close and personal right now. So we have a lot of things going on here. We're gonna get new monitors. Did I say breakfast, man? I don't know. I'm all over the place, man. I'm all over the place. Dinner, of course. I'm going to go eat dinner. But yeah. Anyone in the chat watching Copa America? Not currently. I've been watching when the U.S. is playing. I've been watching. Trying to think through. Okay, so we have Rodgers stack. We have a Daniel Jones stack. So that's Indiana. We have the Colts and the Bills. What do we think between Ty Johnson and Evan Hull? That's where my head goes instantly. But I could just be talked into getting best player available, like a Pierce, like a Alexander Madison. I don't hate Audric Estime. I don't hate Shipley. But in terms of correlation, Evan Hull and Ty Johnson make the most sense. I actually think Ty Johnson's draftable in fantasy. I know that he doesn't get drafted a ton, but I do think that he's draftable. The Jermaine shout-out made my week. Dude, you might be the only guy with a Jermaine Johnson signed Florida State jersey, dude. But I love it, man. Tanya's in Minnesota, huh? I actually don't hate that at all. I don't hate that at all. You're saying Shipley? I actually like Shipley, dude, but if Kenneth Gainwell was the next guy up, it wouldn't shock me at all. Man. Like, if you're going to serve Dameon Pierce on a platter to me, man. If you're going to serve Dameon Pierce... I'm gonna go with Dameon Pierce. I'm just very certain he's gonna make the roster, and that's kind of what you have to value this far out. Let's see. So how many puppies do I have done here? I have 10 puppies done so far. I'm gonna do so many slow drafts here. I'm probably, before I go upstairs to eat dinner, I'm gonna probably rip, I don't know, dude. I might literally load up 140 slows right now. I know that might be crazy to some. It's June. It's not like I have a ton going on right now. But we'll see. I'm definitely going to load up probably at least 50. Oh, all right. So this team, just kind of looking back at it, Purdy, Aaron Rodgers, Daniel Jones, none of them have like a lot of Week 17 correlation here, where like we have no Detroit, but we have Purdy to McCaffrey. We have Aaron Rodgers to Malachi Corley. No Buffalo bringback. I don't believe so. And then we have Daniel Jones to Malik Neighbors. No Indianapolis Colts bringback. Maybe some Week 16 we lucked into. But I have no clue. But yeah, here's a team, 3-5-8-2. Not my favorite team, but when you take McCaffrey early, it's tough to kind of navigate that, especially in a wide receiver heavy room where you have to take Malik Neighbors as your wide receiver 1. But I think that we made up ground just fine. But 145, God, come on, dude, come on. That's not even that much. We're still in slow draft hell from the Poodles. But that's not. It's like 15. Man, 140 would be a lot. You're right. I might do like 50. We'll see. But I appreciate you guys coming out here. I believe this game, what the hell do you call it in baseball? It's not tip-off. It's not kickoff. It's not puck drop in baseball. But it's happening soon. Not this one. It's happening soon. Shohei Ohtani, 0.5 plate appearances. Obviously, you go higher. He's going to step up to the plate. Doesn't even matter if he gets a hit. But that's what you get if you're a new customer on Underdog Fantasy. You can use promo code RON. It'll match your first deposit up to $250. It'll be half of your first deposit. So if you deposit $50, they'll match $25, all the way up to $250. You also get this special Shohei Ohtani new customer special. And just so it's easier for you, if you want to hop into these puppies as well, there's a link in the description, the live chat pinned at the top, in the comment section pinned at the top. Click it, take it Underdog Fantasy. It'll use promo code RON. It'll match your first deposit up to $250. You can hop in here. Get ready for fantasy football season. Redraft is coming. Expect probably 2 to 3 videos this week. Once I sort of get my footing. Again, I'm not sure if I want to do rankings out the gate. I'm not sure what I want to do yet. It's almost overwhelming how many options I have in terms of redraft ideas right now. But we're going to talk redraft. We're going to talk 2024 fantasy football. I'm excited. Best ball summer. Fantasy football is just getting started here. And of course, today was a 6:30 p.m. Eastern stream. Started a little bit later than that because I had to set up the new camera and lights. But I'm excited. Every 6:30 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be streaming on this channel. I think that we should have a guest next week. So I don't know. If you make it this far, comment below who you want to see guests on the channel and draft teams with me. That's something else. So I appreciate you guys coming out here, as always, and I will see y'all in the next one.